Hey guys, let's get more news from Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Draymond Green clowns Jusuf Nurkic following Suns' first-round exit. The ongoing feud between Golden State Warriors veteran Draymond Green and Phoenix Suns center Jusuf Nurkic escalated further as Green made fun of Nurkic after the Suns were swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves on Sunday. On the Draymond Green show, Green called Nurkic a big softie and believed he didn't make a substantial impact in the first round. "Unfortunately, that is all folks," Green said. The tweet may have spoiled even faster from the big softie. "Yeah, that is all folks. So you got to be really careful when you're not that successful and you try to take jabs at people. When you don't play a large enough role in your team's success. When you can't really affect the outcome of the game, like you can have 20 rebounds and lose a game." The big softie bowed out. When he said "that's all folks," Green was referring to the X, formerly Twitter, post of Nurkic making fun of the Warriors when they were knocked out of the play-in tournament with the cartoon show Looney Tunes outro. Starting the hostility between each other, Green slapped Nurkic in the face on December 13, 2023, and was suspended for 12 games as a result. After Green's suspension, the matchup between the Suns and Warriors on February 12 was circled on many NBA fans' calendars. It was going to be interesting with how both players would respond when they saw and competed against each other. Living up to the billing, both drove into the paint, traded the two small gestures after scoring on each other, and argued. Phoenix would come out victorious, beating Golden State 112-106. When responding post-game, the Suns center didn't hold back as he thought that Green didn't reflect on what he did to receive his suspension. "It's sad," Nurkic said. "He didn't learn anything. Just a matter of time, he's going to hit somebody else again. Take back everything I said. He don't deserve a chance." Both would keep barking at each other back and forth before last night when Green clowned Nurkic and the Suns following their elimination. There has not been a response by Nurkic at the time of reporting. Phoenix fell 122-116 to the Timberwolves in Game 4 on Sunday night and is now eliminated from the playoffs. Nurkic had 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists in the defeat. With Nurkic signed with the Suns until 2026 and Green still having 3 more years on his contract with Golden State, this heated rivalry will surely continue for seasons to come. In the aftermath of the Suns' loss to the Timberwolves on Sunday, big man Jusuf Nurkic got called out by a familiar foe. The attacker was star big man Draymond Green, who went on his podcast with some choice words for the big softie. "That's all folks. You've got to be really careful when you're not that successful and you try to take jabs at people. Because when you really don't have control over your own success, and when you don't play a large enough role in your team's success, when you can't really affect the outcome of the game, like you can go get 20 rebounds and lose a game. When you really don't affect the outcome of the game, it's really tough to take jabs at people when you can't affect what your end result is." Draymond states Gobert no longer trash, thanks to Edwards. Draymond Green has a new, friendlier perception of Rudy Gobert. After the Minnesota Timberwolves impressively swept Jusuf Nurkic and the Phoenix Suns in their first-round NBA playoff series, the longtime Warriors forward used the latest episode of the Draymond Green Show to praise Gobert for his 4-game performance. "What Anthony Edwards has taken those guys and done is absolutely amazing," Green said in the episode that was posted Monday. "Like, Rudy's actually is not trash anymore. He defends now, and ironically, he already is a all-defensive player. But I mean, like, when you see him on the switches, he's up at the level. He's not just sitting back in the drop no more. When he gets switched onto the guy, it's like his antennas pop on." Green previously never shied away from an opportunity to take shots at Gobert, but times are changing as Edwards continues to elevate the Timberwolves. The four-time NBA champion had to give the center his flowers after Gobert played a critical role in Minnesota's elite deterrence of big-name Phoenix scorers Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal over the past week. In addition to acknowledging Gobert as no longer trash, Green highlighted the Frenchman's versatility within Minnesota's system, something he failed to offer in prior playoff series as a member of the Utah Jazz. "He is actually impacting winning," Green emphasized. "And he's actually doing that on the defensive end, whereas opposed to other series, he's gotten played off the floor." Although Phoenix went small at times to try to get back in the game, there were still times that they played Rudy on Royce O'Neal. Before, if you went 5 guards, there was no chance Rudy Gobert can play, like 0% chance. And if I'm honest, I don't think at this point that was a change in ability, that is a change in what's required of you. Gobert always has been capable of defending at this higher level, per Green. Interestingly, the two defenders had beef throughout the 2023-24 NBA regular season after Green put Gobert in a headlock back in November, resulting in a 5-game suspension for the Warriors star. But it's definitely different for Green, a fellow defensive-oriented player, to change his tune toward a rival. Hopefully, for everyone involved, Green's good sportsmanship is here to stay. Draymond and Nurkic have a long and better history with each other. As two frontcourt players who have spent their careers in the West, they have clashed in many intense games, both in the regular season and the playoffs. Their most memorable encounter to date was this past season when Draymond took a swing at Nurkic in the middle of a game. The altercation was the final nail in the coffin for Green, who got suspended after a series of violent and inexplicable outbursts on the court. As for Nurkic, he had a lot to say after the ordeal and went on to insist that the Warriors star had learned nothing from his indefinite suspension. The veterans have exchanged several blows over the past few months, and their dynamic has become like a full-blown rivalry in today's NBA. Draymond Green has surprising remarks about longtime rival Rudy Gobert. Against all odds, tensions may finally be thawing between Draymond Green and Rudy Gobert. In the most recent episode of his self-titled podcast for the Volume, the Golden State Warriors star Green offered some surprising comments about his longtime nemesis Gobert of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Green praised Gobert for Gobert's performance in Minnesota's first-round series against the Phoenix Suns, and even said that Gobert was actually not trash anymore. "Rudy Gobert played great," said Green. "Rudy actually not trash anymore. He defends now. When you see him on the switches, he's up at the level. He's not just sitting back in the drop coverage, no more. When he gets switched onto the guy on the perimeter, it's like his antennas pop on. I think it's been interesting to watch," added Green of Gobert's play. "He's actually impacting winning. He's actually doing that on the defensive end." That is a pretty stunning departure from Green's usual rhetoric when it comes to Gobert. The two have been feuding for many years now, with Green regularly taking swipes at Gobert's ability on the basketball court. Their beef later reached a boiling point earlier this season when Green put Gobert into a chokehold during a game and got suspended. But Gobert appeared to extend an olive branch to Green back in December when he expressed empathy for what Green was going through at the time. That, plus the fact that Gobert is making a strong impact right now for the surging Timberwolves, may have led to these surprisingly complimentary comments from Green. And you, fan, what do you think of the Rudy Gobert situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.